Know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep waves by my side. CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cold, these brothers my guys. Know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep waves by my side. CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cold, these brothers my guys. Know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep waves by my side. CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
I gotta stop you, man. You're yelling into your mic, and I didn't know why you just said that. Just talk normal.
Just, yeah, because you're shouting.
Oh, no. Now they said they can't hear you. Did you mute yourself?
I muted myself. Sorry. Should I scream or should I just talk normal? Yeah. Well, we all learned last night that 40 pounds is just way too much for a heavyweight fight. Good God. Yeah, that was something else.
I unmuted the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I thought I unmuted myself, but I unmuted a different audio. I apologize, guys. Yeah, so no, what I was saying is basically the music for my my stream, this is the lowest I possibly could. So if this is too loud, you guys let me know. But anyway, welcome to the show. Number 127. The settings are good. It's just, for some reason, I always lower it to a certain volume on my headset.
But where's the music source?
It's coming from the desktop, the same as you guys.
No, but what's the source? I know it's going through the desktop, but what's the source? Are you running something from YouTube?
I'm playing from YouTube, yeah.
All right, so if you go to your sound icon on your computer, you can actually lower that volume without actually touching the volume control on the YouTube. So that might help you out.
Okay. All right. That doesn't affect the volume that they're hearing the music at?
No.
Okay.
No, that's just for your computer.
Okay. All right, so that's good. So hopefully the music is still okay. But nonetheless,
That sure is. Yeah.
I tell you what, that good.
you hear music on Ranger and Abby, but just not me. Yeah. No, I see that. I unmuted the wrong microphone. I apologize, guys. But we are ready to.
We could do a kung fu thing. You just start speaking, just move your lips, Maurice, and I'll do a kung fu movie kind of adaptation.
It would be cool for us to do a whole live show of me just moving my lips and somebody else talking.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my God, that would be so incredibly funny.
I've come to show you my Shaolin style.
I have come to show you my Shaolin style. That's awesome. That voice you just made was awesome too.
Well, yeah, and then you have always the Chinese guy, the server is like, please, no problem, please.
It reminds me of Kung Pao. You remember Kung Pao?
Oh yeah.
Yay! I love that movie, man. All right, so like I was saying, we've got a lot of stuff to discuss. There's new Clone Wars episodes. We just had a boxing match. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, number 2. I guess we'll get our feelings about that. We are some sports people here. We talk football, we talk sports a little bit, so we'll discuss that. But also, there's not a ton of news in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but we have seen some sightings of Ki-Adi-Mundi. I believe the first Ki-Adi-Mundis were unlocked accidentally for some reason with a glitch with shards. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes too. But before we get there, again, welcome everybody, and good old Maurice, of course, longtime co-host of the show. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. How's everybody else doing?
Doing pretty good, my friend. And the lovely and talented and beautiful and absolutely ravishing Avinash.
Thank you. Wow, such compliments.
Yeah. And then there's also the lovely and the beautiful and the talented RangerJ1999.
Very good. I shall kick your ass for calling me beautiful.
What's wrong with being a beautiful man? You can be a beautiful man. No,
Your words, I find, are not good. I'll like this. And subtitle.
Your words, I find, are not good for me. I don't like this.
I used to always love to watch those kung fu movies and then implement my own dialogue type thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, I love
Start throwing
those.
strange shit in there, like, hey, are those steaks in? Hey, shut up! You just start looking at it. It's like, oh god.
Okay.
Memories.
So, let's get into, first of all, boxing. Did any of you guys watch the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight?
Nope. That wasn't much of a fight, man. That poor guy got his
I don't
ass
do pay-per-view.
It was on YouTube for free like 5 minutes later.
My interest in boxing has really gone down.
Hey, man, there's some good fighters right now. I don't know. I don't know if I'm very interested in seeing a third of those. That was nuts.
So I take it the fights didn't last that long and things came out what people predicted, or?
Nah, I don't think most people predicted it to happen like this, but I'll say, the one thing about it is, like, it's very clear now that Tyson Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder.
Well, that man, 45 pounds on the guy. You could see it last night. He was just beating him. It just pounded him.
So much larger than him, and it was like a little guy fighting a big guy, and then he caught him on the back, like he clearly cheated and caught him in the back of the head. And then after he hit him in the back of the head, there was no reason to continue the fight anymore at that point. He couldn't even stand, and he was just trying to keep his balance really the whole time. He could barely forget about trying to fight. He could barely stand. You know what I'm saying? So it was just he kept getting knocked down. He might as well have just stayed. He might as well have just thrown in the towel after the first knockdown, because to be honest with you, he just made himself look worse by getting knocked down 3 or 4 more times. Because he couldn't stand. I mean, for the uneducated person, it would look like he actually got knocked down a few more days. Yeah, I mean, listen, these days boxing is not that exciting. There's only a few big title bouts out there that actually, draw a crowd or gain interest. This happens to be one of them. This is one of the few fights a year, or maybe, I don't really care about the Joshua guy because I don't really think that Joshua's that good. I think that he's okay. I think that this was the main fight to see. Now I'd like to see Fury versus Joshua, I guess. You know what I mean? But that's really all there is. Mayweather's gone. None of the real big names are still out there. I mean, I'm sure there's some up-and-comers coming that'll eventually, steal the show. But
there's a lot of good fighters in the lower weight classes. There's really not too many. I mean, it's not like when we were growing up where there was like Holyfield, Tyson, and you had all these.
Yeah.
You had Lennox Lewis. You had all these great heavyweights. And it's just man. There's so few, like, the top two weight classes, there's so few blockbuster type fighters. It's just not like it was when we were growing up.
That's right. I'm on my way to show them my fine monk technique.
I mean, the fight that we all wanted was that Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, and then when that happened, that was like the worst fight to watch ever.
That was 10 years past when it should have happened.
Yeah. I mean, it was never going to be that fight that we wanted, though. They were never going to sit there and go toe-to-toe and swing. It was always going to be this, like, technical exercise and boxing expertise. And, Mayweather was going to hit him 10 times and not get hit once. And just,
That's why Mayweather's always fought.
Yeah.
That's the way he
No.
fights,
Mayweather used to fight aggressively. Mayweather used to knock people out when he first started. But,
So did Pacquiao, but I mean, it just wasn't the same. So, I mean, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, when he got older, he just became a kind of like a duck and dodge kind of guy. He did like Maurice is saying, he would just punch and then run away, and that's really all you got there. I mean, still, it's skill in boxing, but it just makes it even more clear that UFC is better than boxing at this point. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, I mean, they're just different. They're sports. They have rules. My philosophy on. I mean, real fighting. I mean,
you don't really see people going for points in UFC. You don't really see people going for the technical victory in UFC. It's usually they somebody's either tapping out or somebody's getting knocked out. That's how it works out in UFC.
Yeah, and it's that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu kind of fighting and stuff. But I mean, it's there's limitations to it, right? So. I have a huge appreciation for both. I think they're both very skillful and stuff. I mean, for me, I have a background in martial arts and military training, things of that nature, but it's always a life or death thing. So for me, I've never fully invested into other than the appreciation of the athletic skill that comes into those sports, because you have to be in prime condition and fighting and even wrestling, like, collegiate wrestling, I have a huge appreciation for, but watching it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some damn good athletes.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the boxing, came and gone. That was an interesting fight, but nonetheless, we'll see what happens if they do another rematch or whatever. Anyway, another thing in the news is the Clone Wars is back. So season 7 of the Clone Wars premiered on Disney Plus. I haven't watched the episode yet.
Then let me spoil it for you.
Season 7 of the Clone Wars premiered on Friday on the Disney Plus streaming service. So if you have seen season up to season 6 in the Clone Wars, you can watch the new season starting Friday, and I believe they'll be dropping them. New episodes. They also changed the artwork style, right? So it doesn't look like the old Clone Wars anymore. Anakin looks a little different.
No, it's the same. This Anakin has longer hair.
He looks a little different from what I saw. Ahsoka obviously looks older.
Closer to more of that episode 3 Anakin, but it's still the same style. If anything, it's gotten better because it's just got that extra technology boost to it. Where some of the action fights and scenes are like, jeez, man, they really upped their game here. It's phenomenal. If you're a Clone Wars fan, you're just going to be gobbling this stuff up because it is so good. It's just I can't give it nothing but high marks.
I need to watch the last episode of season 6 and then watch it because I can't remember what happened because it's been a while since I've watched it.
Yoda died. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Too soon. I'm sorry.
It's just not. It's not possible. You know, it's not possible. But I mean, I
just watch it.
I've watched. So no, I haven't seen all up to season 6. I'm up to season. Like I've been binge watching now to catch up with everything because I missed like a lot of episodes in between all this. I've seen like. You know, I saw like a lot of the arcs throughout the years. Like I saw the Mortis arc, and I saw, the stuff. You know, I saw the episodes where where the clones came in. like 99 and the Bad Batch, and I saw, also, the arc with the Night Sisters and Maul. I saw like when they. I've seen a lot of things through the years from the Clone Wars, but I've never just straight up watched, like, in chronological order every episode of each season. So what I'm up to now is I'm halfway through season 4, and I've been watching in, like, the technical chronological order from the beginning now for about a month. So I'm almost there. So when I'm done, I'll be watching season 7. But I'm still in the middle of season 4. So I have like about 40 more episodes to watch before I get there.
Well, don't worry. If you want me to spoil it, I'll spoil it for you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what happens. You know what I mean? I have I know.
I don't think you do, but
well, I know a lot of the stuff that's going to happen in the shows, and I know about Satine and the Darksaber and all the things that are coming. Like I've seen a bunch of these episodes already, but it's like there's stuff in between that I missed, and I wanted to absorb like every nook and cranny of the Clone Wars. So I just rewatched everything from scratch, and I mean, like there's a lot of like really awesome stuff. And then there's a lot of stuff that's like, I mean, like that whole like 3-episode arc with the Mon Cala people, the Mon Calamari people was completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like we did not need to see about. We did not need to know about the Prince of the Mon Calamari.
World building.
I kind of feel like the fact that they named the Akbar species, the calamari, makes it kind of
calamari.
Yeah, but it's calamari, right? So it's like it kind of devalues
Mon calamari. You just can't cut off part of the name.
Naming them the Mon Calamari is kind of a mockery towards the entire show.
I'm sure because all those octopus and squids that are and stuff that are in the ocean are so hurt about it right now.
There's like sharks and stuff in there. There's like shark-headed people. It's stupid.
Do they call them the Mon Calamari, or did they give
them
that species?
No. But I was cool with like Gungans and like weird species that happen to live in the water. But we don't need shark people and shrimps out there.
You heard it here first. Remon's racist against shark people and the octopus people. That's all I'm
saying.
No.
They crossed when they created characters in Star Wars with shark heads. They crossed a line. Okay, as far as I'm concerned. And same thing with shrimp heads.
You heard it here first, folks, that Remon does not like different people that have shark heads.
No, I know they're called Mon Calamari, okay? But they are still called, in some way, calamari, right? Like, the reason for that is because of the food, okay? They didn't just create Mon Calamari out of nowhere. They created that because, it's a reference to squid.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Remon thinks other alien species in Clone Wars is just food.
Listen, they should have created different visual-looking characters. If they're going to call them Mon Calamari, but they look like the Gungans or whatever, I'd be cool with it. But
you don't like the Gungans.
You don't create a character that looks like a shrimp and then call him calamari. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What are you?
What are they going to? Are they going to make a shark head? Call them the hammerheads? Call them the great whites?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. What are we going to call them? The octopi? You know what I mean?
The words are hard right now.
I just listen. There were a few things. Listen, I love the show. Everything's great, but there are a few things that just weren't necessary. Like the Mon Calamari parts weren't great, and there are a few episodes like this. Season 4 is kind of slow paced. I mean, I got like a whole episode of just R2 and C-3PO going from planet to planet. And, the whole season 4 so far has been kind of, You know, I because it's so awesome up until this point. Like up until through season 3, there's lots of crazy awesome stuff. I mean, the whole Mortis arc and that was cool, and I'm looking forward to the stuff that's coming later. But anyway, season 7. What do you think about the first episode? Did you like it?
I've only been saying that for last. Are you listening to me?
No, he's been on a Mon Calamari rant.
I
for the last
know.
20
I
minutes.
said it's amazing.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it's incredible. And I just said, like, the visuals and all this other stuff.
I know you said the visuals were great, and I know you said there's something about the you know, that you like that you thought it was an update. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I just wanted to, you know, kind of revisit the topic and ask you again if you like it. Don't jump down my throat about it. I'm just being cordial and being conversational. Damn it!
You weren't paying attention, and now you're trying to cover that fact. No, but it's really, really good. I enjoyed it tremendously. I thought the way they started was perfect, and without ruining anything. But I just think that they're on top. I'm really excited for season 7, and the fact that Dave Filoni, I mean, that man could do no wrong in my book. He's just mwah!
Yeah, we should call him the Mon Fish and Chips.
For God's sakes, your first mistake is you listen to Finity.
That is my
mistake. The second mistake is you listen to Finity.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I'm excited for the new season. I can't wait to see. I know there's going to be some Darth Maul in there. Oh, yeah. You know, I know there's going to be. I'm really curious. I mean, and I'm sure everybody is. Like, how much it's going to cross over into the Order 66. I'm wondering if they're going to actually show parts of Order 66 in there.
They are.
I'm wondering if they do that.
Congruently with the story, for everything I've read and seen online, is that it goes right up to the Battle of Coruscant. So, but I don't know. There's some stuff that we don't know about. It could be a possibility that they do show some stuff like that. That'd be interesting.
I would like to
go past episode 3 and some of the stories that they share. I don't know. So
I would like to see like what happens to Rex and Ahsoka on screen. That would be nice. You know, I would like to see. You know,
as long as we ain't got none of them damn Mon Calamaris.
I mean,
we don't like them kind around these parts.
If they did that, they'd have to reenact the scene. If they go past episode 3, they'd have to reenact the scene where you know, Mace and Anakin have their altercation in Palpatine's office. So I mean,
we'll see.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see that in a cartoon form and see how they do it. You know, So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but nonetheless, exciting stuff. More Star Wars content coming. I believe I did hear an announcement the other day that they are making a movie. I don't know if it's official, but they're making a movie based on the Sith homeworld or the Sith planet of Exegol for Disney Plus.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes, I think I heard something about that.
So I mean, I think it's just a rumor at this point, but I mean that. You know, I mean, a lot of times these things are rooted in some sort of reality, and it's coming from a pretty reliable Star Wars website. You know, and they're saying that yeah. So it may talk to us about the, you know, a little bit more about the history of the planet, like maybe the Sith Eternal cult and where they came from. Also, we could find out like how exactly they brought Palpatine back to life in the Rise of Skywalker.
Maybe they'll talk about how there's no Mon Calamari there. Maybe there's a lot of ways they can go.
Maybe the whole under the ice, it's all Mon Calamari.
They're made into sushi.
Oh,
you know?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Under the masks, under the hoods of the Sith Eternal cult, they're all Mon Calamari. Under those hoods, just so you know. They're all Mon Calamari Sith. Mon Sashimi. Mon Escargot.
Mon Nigiri.
Yeah. Manu
If any SWGOH developers are watching the stream, this is what happens if you don't give us any forum posts to talk about.
Way to go, CG.
Yeah.
Or yeah. What about What about Mon shrimp parmigiana?
No, that you took it too far.
Mon lobster roll.
That's way too far. I can't call you on this.
Mon California roll.
Mon baked clams.
Unagi.
All right, but yeah, so we'll see if that ends up coming into fruition. It'd be interesting to see what the next movie they jump into is. I mean, I know they're talking a lot about this High Republic era, and that possibly being the next step for the Star Wars movies. Either way, for the moment, I'm excited about the cartoon, and also the possibility of a new cartoon maybe coming towards the end of the year. You know, they did end Resistance, so now the Resistance is over. That kind of leaves the door open for another series to open up, and a lot of us are hoping or speculating that maybe it's another sequel to the Rebels series with maybe Ahsoka and possibly Sabine, looking for Ezra and Thrawn. That would be kind of cool. I mean, so. We'll see. That will be an interesting, cartoon series to dive into, and and then we're also going to get, I believe they're done shooting the episodes for season 2 of The Mandalorian, so we're looking forward to that too.
So, is there anything in the game, Riemann, that you would like to discuss tonight?
Yes. So, let's dive into, Mon Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Okay, another Mon.
There's going to be a lot of Mons tonight, so everything's going to be Mon Ki-Adi or, Mon Sith Trooper.
Mon's the word.
All right, so Ki-Adi-Mundi, I have 2 shards. Other people have 80 shards, somehow. Okay? But, so apparently there was a glitch that gave people extra shards, and 2 people were able to unlock Ki-Adi-Mundi. There's actually a video on T101's channel where he showcases some of the gameplay. So if you guys haven't seen that video, you can go over to T101's channel and check that out. He does have, some video on the character. Now, bear in mind, it is a 4-star version of Ki-Adi-Mundi, and, when you put a 4-star Ki-Adi-Mundi in arena against a General Skywalker, you're going to get white. You're going to get the floor wiped with you. You know what I'm saying?
What? What did you say?
But I believe he has some gameplay of him in, like, Galactic War and things like that, so you can see what, his abilities look like, etc. But, first impressions, what did you guys think? Did you guys get a chance to see it?
No.
I did not.
Maurice, you didn't see it either?
No.
You guys.
Why am I don't need to watch this. I got 4 months for it. I unlock him. I don't need to be get my
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You guys are all lame people.
No, I've been out of town all weekend, man.
Well, yeah, but I've been doing other streams and.
I'm trying to. I was doing like a couple other streams, and I was trying to recover from the light side geo, because it was I pretty much did it by myself, and I'm exhausted. I'm worn out from micromanaging it. So.
Okay. All right. What do you guys think about the whole shard situation? So, what happened with the glitch exactly?
Well, there's a lot of things we could talk about. I mean, my God, how many more bugs and glitches do we have to put up with?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it just me or just I love this game, but it does not feel like $1 billion industry game?
It's not a $1 billion industry game because they either, one, don't have enough people to be able to take care of it. 2, they got rid of the Game Changer program. 3, they got rid of pretty much the beta program. So there's nobody out there really testing it before they put it out in the market, and it's just full of all kinds of bugs and stuff.
I'm impressed people got KM with all the bugs going on with that specific battle. I mean, it's just feast or famine, baby. And I guess if you feasted in one, you got some. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty atrocious. I mean, this is the 4th TV that has not gone flawlessly, and I don't expect things to go flawlessly, but I mean, my good Lord in heaven.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the first one they cut it short.
Issues with each one.
Yeah, the first one they cut it short. The second one, my guild did Hoth so we could get 7-star gas, and then we've only done 2 since then. This was our second one. So we're still, trying to figure out how it's all working. And I swear that they tweaked something. I just think that they did somehow. And I think it got messed up because I don't think some things are working as intended.
No.
And
I hope this is not intended, because that would really be the suck.
Yeah.
That would really be the suck. Yeah. Well, by the way, I was gonna suggest. Somebody here suggests that you guys call me Riemann Calamari from now on.
Riemann Calamari.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, whatever the reason, whatever the situation, and we don't know. One, because CG just doesn't communicate with us, and some things are not going to communicate with us. Like if I just, but we're getting to ludicrousness here with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we got another Dev Q&A coming up this Friday, which me and Finn will be all over and have a good time with it. But it's a sad state of affairs that the reason we always joke about like making fun of all the art questions, but the problem is the reason they take the art questions because they will not face the tough questions.
Yeah, that's true.
And the
They
thing
will
that Finn, for the most part, is a little bit more forgiving than I am when it comes to some of this stuff. But like even Finn this week with the gas bug was like, really? I mean, their statements just does not compute. It just doesn't make sense. You read the statement that they put out and you're like, that cannot be the situation. First, they said they're aware of it and they're going to look into it. And you're like, okay, cool. They've recognized it. They're going to do something. Their response is, well, we're not seeing from our data any problems. And I'm like, what? One, what data are you looking at? Two, what game are you playing? And three, do you even play this game?
What are you smoking for?
And then it's just like, are you just not? Is it just you're just too lazy to want to fix it? And this has been a continuing kind of trend with some of the stuff with the bugs. Like, hey, you know what? But it's like that's not an acceptable answer, and it's not an acceptable outcome.
Well, and it just plays to the fact that if it benefits us, they take it away. They will fix it. They will do a hot fix. They will fix it as soon as possible. If it does not benefit us, if it goes against us at all, then they're like, oh, well, we'll have a fix in 3 months, or we'll get that taken care of, or we'll look into it. So obviously, if it benefits us, they certainly don't want that to happen. But if it's against us, they'll deal with it.
If I had a choice, I would much prefer them to work on that burning Django bug and maybe some of the other bugs over that bug. For them to say that they don't see it having an impact is absurd. That definitely has an impact.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To the point where you might have to throw an extra. I mean, some extra relics on your counters and stuff. Like my counter still works, but my counter is arguably over-invested in. If you had like a fringe counter, if you built it just good enough to beat all the ones on your shard, and all of a sudden, you got to start taking some resources away from your Kylo or your Rey, and throw an extra relic level on Chewbacca, throw over extra relic level on CLS. Then it definitely has an effect. I don't think it's game breaking. But that's ridiculous for them to say that. That's kind of silly.
But it's just one of those. It's this thing. This consistent pattern of just certain things happen, and in a game bugs are going to happen, but it's how you deal with them, right? And the example I gave was my time in World of Warcraft. Shit went downhill. You had somebody pop into the game as soon as you asked. It was like, what's the problem? Well, the raid, we're stuck. Okay, let me get you out of there. And then they would just be on the spot fixing it. And if there's a major bug, they weren't dicking around. They went in there and it's like, hey, and they would respond and say, hey, we'll have this fixed in 24 hours. We're looking into it. Let us know but they were on it. This game just has this different mentality of that kind of situation, right? And whether it affects you or not, it affects people that play the game, and you want their experience with the game to be as good as it can possibly be. It's really frustrating when we're still getting the buttons disappearing bug. I mean, that's just not acceptable, and then some of the responses are just not acceptable. If you expect people to pay and they're willing to pay money for a product Just the basic necessity of having the damn thing work is something that I think is a reasonable expectation for the game. And you know, and if you have a problem, address it. Say, hey, here's the issue. Here's what we're going to try to do to fix it, and then just keep the buying public informed. So when we get a statement like this, it's just so ambiguous. I have no idea what CG's reason is.
Especially when you're like when you're like 100K into the game, you know, like some people are. You know,
there are some people that spend some money. I mean, Cubs videos have been a little eye-opening. Like I didn't realize. I mean, I've heard of some people. I know some people that spent something like that. That one guy spent nearly $100,000. I'm like, Jesus.
I mean,
he enjoys it and he enjoys the game, and you know,
right? Yeah,
you know,
that's their form
cool.
of entertainment. Yeah,
sure, and it's totally fine. It's their discretionary income; they can do that. But I think the company owes, especially those kind of people, a better product than what we're getting right now, and way better communication than what they're. I mean, if anybody invests that kind of money, they really need to do a better job in those two areas, because it's becoming a joke. And when your company's viewed as something like that, it's not a good public image to have.
Well, CG had this like part of the, so periodically they had, you know, when they had these some of these game changer events, they also had invited some of the premier players out to some of these get-togethers, like as like a way to kind of get their feedback and make them feel like, you know, like a little bit more appreciative of their investment. You know, so some of the really, really big spenders, like, you know, some of the people we're talking about that have spent like over 50,000, 100,000,
sure.
They've been flown out to Cali for events and things like that to be a part of it. And, you know, so they try to do some things like that. But I don't know if you know, that really, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you want to make sure your investment, you know, you're enjoying it, you know, and if you've spent, you know, 100K on a game and you going in there and you can't, you know, your buttons are disappearing on you, that's kind of disappointing, you know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. I mean, like, you know, I get it. Like, you know, if I go out looking for, you know, for a car, and I'm looking for, you know, a T-shirt, and then when I, you know, instead of buying a name brand shirt, I buy a $5 shirt. You know, I expect that maybe, you know, there may be some problems with that $5 shirt, right? But I mean, like, you know, it's not going to be the highest quality, but you know, when you spend 100K on a game, you know, you want everything to work. You want to have no issue. Sorry about that. Yeah, my mic has been muted. So I was saying the $5 shirt. Yeah. So basically, you know, if you're making an investment like this, and sorry about that, guys. Yeah, my mic was muted. I realize. So yeah, if you're making an investment like this, I mean, nonetheless, you know, you want the game to work, but you know, if you feel like after, you know, playing the game for so long, you know, 5 years in, that there's still some of the same things that reoccurring over and over again, and you're not getting any kind of, like, I guess, progress towards eliminating some of these bugs. I mean, they had that same bug with the Malik event happen, like 2 or 3 times in a row? Mm-hmm. You know, that's crazy. You know, that shouldn't be happening.
Well, I'll end with this. I mean, someone that invests that kind of money, it's like, you gave your shirt analogy. I'll say it's like a steak. You can go to certain places and you can get a good steak, right? For 10, $20, right? You know, something, you know, Outback or something along those lines. It's a good steak, right? But then you can go to other places where it's a much better cut of steak, and the quality's different. You taste it. That's the expectation, because you're paying way more money, but you know the product that you're getting from what the money you're paying, and you're willing to pay it because you know that steak's going to be anything way outclassing anything that's at Outback or anything like that. I have this kind of expectation with this game. because the amount of money this game is made, and because it's a Star Wars game, and because the time and money invested by people, I think holding people accountable is important. And I think that if you've paid $90,000 for this game, CG should be doing everything in their power to do everything to make sure your game experience is perfect.
This game is probably. This is probably the most expensive. This is probably one of the most successful mobile games ever. Definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Without doubt, there's no doubt about that.
So
I think if you look at like dollars generated per player, it might be the most. It's not going to top like Clash of Clans and maybe some of these other games. Those games have millions and millions and millions of players on this game. This game per player, like the money spent is astronomical. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's not going to surpass like Fortnite or anything. But
no. Like, that'd be an interesting stat to see. Like, just money earned per player. Like, you don't have to spend money, just the active player base and then the money generated. That'd be an interesting stat to see where this game stands. I bet it's in the top 20 all time, like per player. That's just a random guess, but yeah, it's crazy. You look at, I don't know, like my arena shard has like 50 active people on it. It's just like that's how long this game's been out.
Yeah,
right.
I
don't know.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they'll ever merge the shards at some point to kind of make them all more active, but that's something we've been talking about for years, so we'll have to see. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to our meta report and top 5. So let's go ahead and slide up over there. Not much movement here. Again, we did have the initial change from Skywalker from Revan to Skywalker, and that trend seems to be continuing. Really no huge changes here. General Skywalker is the meta, and looks like he's going to have a stranglehold on that position for the time being. I don't know how long this will last, but hopefully, being that Darth Revan lasted over a year, at least it'll have a little bit of time in the sun after all the investments and time that people put into this character.
Yeah, it'll be around a while. Like, we still have to see how these tickets operate and stuff. So you might just not be able. We might have the requirements, but we might not be able to earn the tickets for quite some time. The average player might not be able to even access the event even with the character. So we got to see. I think it'll be around a long time.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Gas is pretty OP. So
it's just stupid meta though. It's so dumb.
It's
oh god,
it's because the AI is stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like it is what it is. But Gas himself is ridiculous too.
Yes.
So. Not going, just thinking arena, but like if you have a fully relic Gas team, there's nothing you can beat on offense in GAC.
Yeah.
You're going to destroy it. It's just the way it's.
What I'm wondering is how OP does Kylo and Rey have to be in order to top Gas?
Pretty OP. Like, it's going to have to be OP. There's a lot of question marks of like what their abilities are going to be and how that's going to interact, but also the mastery skill that they've been talking about. Because if you reduce, like say Kylo, who reduces, is one way, and then what Rey does is she increases stats for her team. I think is mastery. If I'm reading it right, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I'm just speculating here. That could be a huge impact for all of a sudden First Order and Resistance Rey, or Hero Resistance Galactic Legend Rey, and how they're going to interact. But we still haven't seen their kits. We haven't seen how many Zetas are going to have. What's going to be the general philosophy of it. So, and then how's that going to affect the other? We've seen this like with the Radish ship. Like, Resistance pilot ship sucks. But you put that ship with the Radish, and all of a sudden that thing becomes an all-star. You're like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. So it's, it's just, those are the kind of things we have to look for to see on top of these characters, like what is going to be the dynamic and improvement to the other characters that will work on this team, and what will the gain or lose from it. So too many questions that we still have left unanswered.
So Shy Bears is saying that he thinks that on a DR team on D is way harder than a fully R7 gas team, in his opinion. I mean, is that just because that on his shard they don't have good mods?
No, I mean both. I mean, Anakin on. I mean, defense is defense, but I think what Shy Bears might be saying is like GAC. If you put your Darth Revan team down, it's a little bit. You have to understand how to Darth Revan team, but I don't have any problems with Darth Revan teams with gas, and vice versa. But the problem with like, if you don't have a gas and you take your Darth Revan versus a Relic 7 gas, unless your team's really relics, it could go south because of the RNG and stuff. You know, especially with this bug where it's like it counterattacks and does all this crazy stuff. I mean, it completely throws off your team here. So yeah,
I would think if you take and build yourself a Darth Revan counter and you build yourself a gas counter without using mirrors or anything like that, if you're just using pattern, whatever you want to use, I think like once you build that Skywalker counter, it works on the majority, if not all, of the Skywalkers. Like if you can get it consistently working, you're set. But whereas Darth Revan, there's so many different variables. Like okay, maybe this team has a really fast HK. And he throws it and gets the tenacity down before I can get any protection. Just like there's so fast Malik, tenacious Malik, fast Revan, fast Bat. There's so many variables that you kind of throw your counter off. They can't. It won't always be reliable for you.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sens. Yeah. He's saying he's on a Kraken shard, so that's not the case. Yeah.
No, I'm on the same kind of shard, but I mean, yeah, Gom's right. I mean, the gas meta is stupid easy to like beat. Once you know how to beat it, it's like. There's no advanced buts about it.
Yeah. All right. This is the top 10 leaders at rank 1. Now we're moving on to the top 10 squad members at rank 1. Again, very similar to last week. Primarily just the Galactic Republic characters here with General Skywalker 5s, Rex, Echo, and ARC Trooper, followed by the Sith characters. Pretty much no big changes here. Jedi Knight Anakin is at number 10. But overall, just a very similar, meta report. Hopefully we'll see some shifting here, sometime in the near future. But again, like Maurice said, I don't see it happening, at least, until a nice amount of time has passed and maybe these characters, these Galactic Legend characters have released. But let's move on to our top 5. So we did have a suggestion in the comments or the chat of the last live stream. So we're going to be doing top 5 characters that don't wield a blaster or a lightsaber.
There we go.
Yep.
Getting desperate.
Yep. This is where we're at right now. Top 5 characters that don't wield a blaster or a lightsaber. We haven't done a list like this ever in the history of time. So, at number 5, who do we have here, Maurice?
Emperor Palpatine is number 5. Good. He doesn't have a blaster. He doesn't have a lightsaber.
Good.
He does have lightning. So, I mean, I guess, but yes, very good leader for the Sith. And Empire, just AoE shot or AoE stun shock on his basic. He's got a move that can just heal himself up and remove health from all the other characters, including your teammates, which makes it a very, very fun combo for IPD. You just let the hate flow move, pull IPD down a little bit below 100% health, and he gets to blow up anybody for 99,000 damage on the other team. So it's a win-win
situation.
He's been meta 2 or 3 different times now. He's so good they had to rework Darth Malik on a whim. Just so Palpatine couldn't cheese him to death. So there you go. He's number 5. Who else is going to guess that God made R2 the number 1 character?
It's
a very good guess.
It's a very good guess.
Very good guess.
Very good guess. All right, that is our number 5 character that does not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. Moving along to our number 4. Who do we have here? We have C C-3PO at number 4. Doesn't wield a blaster or a lightsaber. Doesn't actually attack at all.
That's right. Just pure support character, guys. Very, very good. Gives translations to teammates, which has all sorts of benefit. Gives confused to the other team, which has all sort of detrimental effects to the opposing team. Grants enormous boost to everybody. Every faction gets their own little piece of love. Ewoks get it all. Just all sorts of stuff. It makes him, and he's got a Zeta specifically just for him and R2D2. Pretty cool. The oh my goodness move is actually one of the better moves I think in the game. Just put the 2 stacks of confuse on a target immediately, which will prevent them from just basically buff immunity and like daze all together just on a character instantly. Very, very good trick and very, very useful in a number of factions. I think a lot of people are still using him with CLS, because he's a rebel. He has rebel synergy, actually allows rebels to expose on basic attacks. And then the other faction of us are using him more than likely with Padme. It'll be very interesting to see if he ends up making the Galactic Legend Rey team. So he's turning quickly into the light side plug and play character that we all know and love.
He is. He's a hero. That is our number 4 character that does not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. Moving along to number 3. Who do we have here, Maurice?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of who's left. Oh, Nest. Nest is number 3. Now, this might make some of you guys, I see a couple of you guys in the chat, this probably make you a little upset, but Nest number 3. Ultimate attacking character. The good old, she can solo anything. She's very, very handy. Probably one of the best attacking units in the entire game. Mm-hmm. She doesn't require the speed. As you can see here, she's got a pretty high tenacity. The good old slow, tenacious Nest countering trick works against so much stuff. Relic provides more damage, a little bit more health that she feeds off of, gets that protection up from her health pool. All sorts of good benefits. We all know and love Nest. Offense, defense, she's a monster. And she does not have a lightsaber, nor does she have a blaster.
But she has fabulous red hair.
Yes, she does. She made this list for no other reason than her freckles.
All right.
Suffer from gingivitis.
All right, Maurice and Ranger. On a scale from 1 to 10, how attractive is Enfy's Nest? Go.
75, because she beats the crap out of stupid men.
75 out of 10. Maurice, go.
3.
Oh!
Really?
Really? Okay.
How dare you underbid me? This is not the Price is Right.
I'll go with 3. Not my jam. Not my preference.
It's strong women steer good over.
Maurice doesn't like marmalade. You know, he's more of a grape jelly kind of guy. You know.
I like to go to the beach.
Sure. She was tan. No.
And she just simply could not come to the beach.
Yes, she could, and she can kick the crap out of anybody that bothers you.
Yes, while wearing a hooded sweatshirt underneath an umbrella. She had to carry around an umbrella with her.
Oh, cold Maurice. Cold as ice. All right,
cold as ice.
Moving along to our number.
I'm not really sure she's legally old enough for me to be thinking about anyway, to be honest.
That's a good point.
Maurice,
creepy question to ask a grown man.
Maurice, this is first of all, Maurice, this is Star Wars. Okay, there is no such thing as laws. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yes, there is.
No,
I live in America.
Okay, all right.
What the hell are you
You
talking
just go to another planet, okay, and you date whoever you want. Okay, that's how it works in Star Wars. All right.
My dear God, no, that's not how any of this works. Rewind.
Anakin's mom was born as a slave and then married. Okay. All right.
She wasn't married.
The guy married her after he purchased her.
Well, yeah, but
okay. No rules in Star Wars. No rules. In Star Wars.
If Durgan says I feel uncomfortable, it's time to move on.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just kind of laughing in that uncomfortable way.
How old is Enfy's Nest, though? Is she young?
I don't know how old
I
she
think
is.
I think she was a teenager or something.
I thought she was.
I don't know.
I thought she was an adult. I mean, listen, you know, the armor that she has makes her look older than she is. You know,
She was 16 years old, according to.
Okay, so I thought she was 16 to 18.
Okay, well, 16, maybe this wasn't an appropriate conversation. All right, let's backtrack. Let's backtrack a little bit. 75 out of 10. She's 18, they're saying here. She's 18.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Number 2.
Moving along to our number 2 character that does not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. Or is not underaged. Who do we have here, Maurice?
R2D2.
Not number 1, but he's up there. He's up there. Not number 1, but he's up there.
He's number 2. Yes. I do love some R2D2. Just a great character. Doesn't do either. This one actually attacks, though, unlike his 3PO buddy. He does have a shock on his basic. He's got the smoke screen, which basically gives any character taunts with evasion, and of course, the AoE burn. And anytime a light side ally critically hits, cleanses themselves, and then of course he has the number crunch. As you can see here, this one is built for health and offense. At R7, that's a pretty significant amount of offense and health that he distributes to the team. With that number crunch Zeta, very good support unit. Again, it would be very interesting to see where he fits after the release of Galactic Legend Rey. I will not be getting Rey, so those of you that are going after Rey, please hit me up on Discord and tell me all the good news with him and 3PO, because I think it's going to be very interesting to see where these two characters end up here in about 2-3 months. So we will see. Finny says the Alliance live show discussing questionable "Am I hot or not?" conversation since episode 127.
Listen, every now and then we got to reinvent the wheel. Okay, and tonight's one of those nights.
There's no reinventing that.
All right.
Just awful.
All right, every now and then we gotta think of a new idea, something to spice it up for Ranger, just to make him a little bit more interested in the conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly why
Ranger's on autopilot sometimes. We gotta be, whoa, 75 out of 10.
What can I say? I like a woman who can kick the crap out of other people. I find that attractive.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay,
so what's her name in Mandalorian?
I was.
Please wrestle me.
I suggested it because I thought she was, she was kind of cute. She was kind of cute.
Oh my god. Yeah, I need, Cara Dune can just right. Oh, you're going to beat my ass? Okay, please. Thank you.
That is our number 2 character. R2D2 does not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. Moving along to our number 1 character that does not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. And who is that, Maurice? Everybody's waiting.
I'm not.
Wat Tambor. I don't think anybody was waiting for that. They pretty much knew what number 1 was as soon as number 2 came out.
Sorry, guys. I totally screamed that. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I was just kind of... Again, the music is still kind of loud, but I apologize.
What?
Yeah, Wat Tambor, number 1. Wat Tambor, we just mentioned R2D2 and how good he is for light side characters. Wat Tambor offers a hell of a lot of support for the Separatist faction, but he can also is the ultimate plug and play because he can distribute those 3 techs to light side or dark side units, making any team just completely remold any team that you wish. A lot of people are using him. I'm personally using him for my Skywalker counter with CLS. A lot of people are using him with First Order. A lot of people are using him all over the place. People are using him with Wampa. Some of these Wampa teams that I see Wat Tambor on. Very, very cool. Just a theory crafter's dream this character is. If you do happen to have him complete 7-star, you can relic. If you really are interested in putting him on your Grievous team, you relic him up, build him for big health, and he will give that faction so much protection. It makes it very, very difficult to beat with anything. So, if you guys are really looking for the ultimate Grievous team defensively, really consider relicking up and modding for health your Wat Tambor. Very fast character, so very, very fast, but not too terribly difficult to mod. You get him up at 300. If you take him to year 13, you can get him to 300 relatively easily, very, very easily. So a good character for everyone to have. I don't know. He's kind of up there with like Thrawn.
Yeah.
Kind of as like a plug and play on any team makes it better sort of character. So
Really good.
if you guys don't have him yet, you will soon, and get ready. I would, if you guys haven't unlocked him, have him 4 or 5 star. I would suggest go ahead and save all of his gear ahead of time. That way, when you finish him, you can take him all the way to 13. You'll be very happy that you did.
Well, I was going to do that, good old Maurice, and then they have this thing called Galactic Legends, and that's pretty much screwed me on my gear, because he was the next character I was going to relic, and I'm like, well, there went that plan.
Well,
even at 12 plus.
Yep. And that is our number 1 character that does not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. We do have an honorable mention, and that honorable mention is Mother Talzin.
Yes, indeed.
Mother
Talzin. The honorable mention. Plague. Xana gives her a hell of a lot of turns. Great leadership, providing potency and speed to the Night Sisters, along with turn meter. Just an AoE, or not AoE, but a mass assist attack that if you do end up killing the enemy, it heals up all of your characters. Very, very good character. And you can make a case maybe Daka goes here as well. Take your pick. One of the Night Sisters probably goes here. Spirit, she's good too. There's quite a few other characters that make the list that don't have a lightsaber or a blaster. Wampa's another one. There's a lot of characters that could go here. But she, out of the Night Sisters, I feel she's probably the best one to make a list because she does have a solid leadership. So.
Mm-hmm. And I know what you guys are thinking here, right? I mean, like, how did we make this list and not include Stick Ray? Okay, right? Like, how do we make a list that basically is made? Basically,
I wasn't thinking about it now.
Basically,
I wasn't even thinking about it.
This list is about. Basically, we tried to find a way to say characters that have a staff, but that list would have been 1 character. Okay, so, we have to find another way to do it. Okay, and the other way to do it was to make characters that don't wield a lightsaber or a blaster. And then you know what ended up happening? Stick Ray didn't make that top 5, right? But what she did make was in the first time in the history of the Alliance Live show, she made the 2nd honorable mention. We've never had one. We've never had one. Today we have one. Stick Ray is the 2nd honorable mention. And
there she is, folks.
Just so you can see. She made the list. All right. She's the 2nd.
I'm not sure she would make, if this is the top 10 list, I'm not sure she'd make that either, but there she is.
I got to tell you, I relicked mine, just basic relic, right? And when it gets a pretty good first order team the other day, I usually use JTR versus there. She was one-shotting every single character. She is stupid relic. Her damage goes through the roof, and her speed is ridiculous. I forgot how fast she is. And when you add that extra speed to her, Stick Ray is not dicking around. I always joke, we always use Stick Ray on my JTR team for you, Reno. But she used to hit hard, but good Lord. And she was like, "Hi, officer, dead. Hi, trooper, dead. Oh, executioner, dead." I was like, I love this so much right now.
Well, she's got good. She's going to be very, very useful. You can mod her for health. Because a lot of these new, like Holdo has who people are going to have relic because of the capital ship. You're going to have Resistance Hero Finn. There's a lot of health regenerating benefits in this old Finn. So you could keep her alive. So she's going to be very, very useful. I think a lot of people are kind of I got an R7 in my Scav Ray, but I think most of those people will be pleasantly pleased with the end result.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm not anywhere close on Resistance. I got to go first order, so I'll get there one day. But for now, I'll just listen to you guys talk about them.
So basically what I'm saying is we created this list to try and make it about Stick Ray, and she didn't even make the list. So
we still found a way to make it about Stick Ray. So,
but we still found a way.
Bullshit.
So, listen, she's a not just like Maurice said. There are many characters that could be an honorable mention here, and she does happen to be one of those. Okay, but yeah, I mean there are a lot of good characters that don't wield a lightsaber or a blaster. I thought it would be a smaller list, but it's quite vast. So, but Stick-Ray, and like you said, Wampa. You could really dive into a bunch of different characters that could be over here.
Brood Alpha, Spy,
Hermit Yoda.
Hermit Yoda, yep.
Yeah, I took a picture of him, and he was actually the one that I chose Talon over Hermit Yoda, actually.
Yeah,
that is why you failed.
When I was looking at C-3PO, thinking of BB-8 could be here. You could have a bunch of characters. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting. But that is our top 5 characters that do not wield a lightsaber or a blaster. We will, continue with the live show. We're going to move on to the Q&A segment here. But before we do that, if you guys haven't already done so, please do smash the like button as it makes us feel good. And do subscribe to the channel and click the notification icon to get notified when we go live. We're going to go ahead and do our Q&A segment here. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, or any questions that you have asked, we're going to scoop them up now and try to answer them as quickly as we can before we wrap up the stream for the night. So, guys, get your questions in, any topics you want to discuss now so we can talk about them.
All right, I've got the first, actually, Ouchie Dumpling actually messaged me a tweet. This is actually something from your Deadline was the source, I guess, of the reputable Star Wars sites, but we got a tweet here that says, just clarification, the new Star Wars project does not take place in Exegol. I wrote a casual and fun line regarding plot details being unknown, but tied it to the subject matter, and Deadline has taken it and run with it. So, just wanted to share that.
So basically, Raymond didn't check his sources.
Okay, so there's a new movie coming out about the planet of Exegol. Okay,
and I didn't do that. I didn't do that to call you out. I mean, she said, and a lot of people have taken this as law. So, just wanted to share that with you.
I'm calling Raymond out. Yeah.
No, it's fine. No. It's what I'm saying is yeah. I mean, whenever this type of stuff comes out, we're talking about Rebels, sequel series with Ahsoka and there's a bunch of stuff we could discuss, but I mean, it's all speculation. I mean, you got to take any news you hear with a grain of salt until official announcements come from Disney or Lucasfilm.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But one other thing that I wanted to talk about that we didn't was we never discussed. There was something else Star Wars related that just happened, right? What am I forgetting?
My first response would be a lot.
Okay. No, continue with the Q&A. If I remember the topic, I'll bring it up. I just don't remember right offhand. I remember when we were discussing it before. For some reason, something popped in my head, and I was like, I'll circle back around to that later. And now it escapes me.
Fantastic.
All right, let's see. I have got to go, guys, but I have all the questions thus far posted in our live show chat. Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions in there lined up for you guys. I've got to run.
Okay.
All right. I will read the questions.
All right.
There we go. Nice teamwork, guys.
There we go.
Sounds good.
So
What's gonna work?
All right.
Teamwork. All right.
You guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everyone watching.
Yeah. So what's going on
Maurice.
before you go, Maurice? What's going on with Metaverse this week?
We have Thursday night live stream, 10 o'clock. We also will be doing a patron workshop this week, and then also another one on, I believe, Saturday after the Jedi Academy. So we got some stuff going on this week, so do check us out on Thursday.
And remember, guys, there's a link in the description to Operation Metaverse, so if you're not already subscribed and ready for that, definitely make sure to go check that out. But, thank you, as always, Maurice, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Take care, dude.
All right.
See you guys.
All right, see you later.
All right. Let's see. Darksign 1972 question. Watch CG will roll out a fix to take away double cam shards, yet they can't fix the gas bug. Well, there you go. I think you just said that earlier, Avinash, where it's like, when it's for us, take it away, or when it's against us, it's like, yeah. I think your answer on that, Avinash, is pretty good. Let's see here. Durgan says, question, Galactic Legends are okay and all, but when are we getting a send button for the tank raid?
Oh, God. Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be great.
Probably, I would imagine when the next raid might be coming out, I would think that would be a possibility. Until then, I think that we're just going to be stuck with what we got.
I don't think they're going to have you be able to sim 2 raids when there's only 3 raids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Abby's saying, probably when they release another raid, they'll do that. Yeah. But, I mean, how long do we have to deal with the, with the Rancor raid until that happens? So,
I'll say. Darksign 1972 says, question, at what point does CG risk legal actions for having products people purchase that don't work, not fixing issues, etc.? Isn't this a form of predatory practice? I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really know what
That's hard to say. Sometimes when they say something in particular, they try to they can circumvent any type of legality by rewording something a certain way. And I'm sure that they have their legal crew and everybody else saying, oh, this is what you need to say to circumvent that. So, but it's not so much like predatory practices as sometimes it's just bait and switch.
Yeah, a little different. I don't know if I'd call it that. So, all right, Jucifer912 question. With the upcoming release of the Finalizer, are we thinking that the ship sips will be required in addition to First Order? Like the Radish required Lando ship? If so, I'm effed. I don't know what shits. I mean, after what they did with Radish, I don't know what the hell they're going to use. First Order, yes. So we need 3 more ships. It could be anything.
I mean, I would totally expect them to include the Radish and the Finalizer as requirements for Rey.
We know Houndstooth will be one of them because Houndstooth used for everything. So.
Houndstooth is everything. So, but it's really hard to say what ships they're going to be using because I think they're going to be scrambling on that because I think some of the ships that are going to be needed to run with the Finalizer and the Radish are just not out there yet. And so they're kind of probably figure out, okay, this looks good, let's just throw that into the pot and see what sticks.
Yeah. I just remembered what it was that I wanted to discuss, by the way. So the 3rd issue of the Rise of Kylo Ren came out last week.
Kylo Ren.
And so Kylo Ren meets the Knights of Ren for the second time, trying to join them this time, and they I guess they're trying to find out if he's ever, I guess they have some sort of a price to join their crew. I guess Snoke kind of advised him to go there, and
was it Galactic credits?
No. Their requirement is that you they ask him about if he's killed somebody, and if that person was given a good death. And then they don't really go into detail about what that good death means, but you do see flashbacks of Kylo and Luke at the new Jedi temple that Luke created on Ahch-To. So there's all these Padawan students, and you see Ben and the other student Jedi. So it's actually pretty cool. This is kind of a new canon comic. The final issue, I think, is coming out next month. So if you guys haven't seen the Rise of Kylo Ren comic, there's 2 other issues besides this one, and it kind of dives into the seduction of Kylo Ren by Snoke, and also
Kylo Ren.
And also what happens with him and Luke. They fight the Knights of Ren in one of the comics, and you see them do a battle on an old Jedi temple. So I don't know how it's going to end. Obviously, he's going to turn to the dark side in the end and finally become
we know that part.
The leader of the Knights of Ren, but I don't know how that's going to end. So it'll be kind of interesting to see. And we'll also find out, what happened with Luke. But you can see that he, had, some fights with some of the students from the Jedi School. And again, this is canon, so they have like a whole bunch of new stuff to add on to that story behind how the actual Jedi Temple on Ahch-To was destroyed. So you find out in the comics that it wasn't even Kylo Ren that destroyed the temple. It was actually Snoke or Palpatine or whatever, from the background that took care of that. So it's pretty interesting. So
all right. Let's see. Next question. From Abner Dune. He says, question, I just got back from a few weeks in Machu Picchu and the Galapagos. What did I miss? Well, first in the beginning, there were the dinosaurs, and then the Earth cooled, and then they got all big, fat, and lazy, and then they died and turned to oil. And then Prince Charles started wearing Princess Diana's clothing. I could not believe it. No, I just made all that. Quite a lot, actually. We don't have time to cover it all. Let's just say that requirements for Galactic Legends are pretty cray-cray. Gas doesn't work. Go to Maurice, still has 3-dot mods, so you can be secure in that knowledge.
you mean Ramon?
Yeah, Ramon. Good old Maurice would not have 3-dot.
I'm sorry, did I
mods.
say good old Maurice? I meant Ramon. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Ramon.
Oh.
Yeah, Ramon's less
Sacrilegious
3-dot
there.
mods.
I know. What am I thinking? Geez, that's a bad slip of the tongue there. I apologize to Dom and to all his family members. Speaking of mods, Jason Krulik's question. Rima, what mods are you working on? Working
on mods. What are you talking about? Working on
Not
mods?
what tunes you're working on. What mods are you working on?
What mods am I working on? I'm not working on any specific mods.
we're sure about that. Say Eddie. Just say Eddie.
What I'm hoping for is to just kind of wing it, and then like when I really, really have no choice, I'm just gonna get Ranger to do my mods for me.
Yeah, I'm ready anytime.
Yeah, when I'm really back against the wall, I'm just gonna say, hey, I give up, Ranger. Let's do this, and we'll get it done.
Right.
And whenever we do, we'll stream it. We'll record it or something. We'll definitely get. You guys will see that. So.
Okie dokie. The Sash question: will Malik become available always in Journey Guys since they announced the date of its next appearance will be the 1-year market? I mean, it's eventually going to head there, right? Or did they say something? I can't remember if they said anything.
Yeah, Mal can become available always in the Journey Guide since they announced the date of its next appearance will be the 1-year mark in April.
I think so, right?
Yeah, I think so. Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what they said that they were going to do. So.
Okay, so I didn't think I was crazy. I remember something.
Was it April? I swear it was like February. I thought it was.
Oh, it was March.
It was just shortly after Darth Revan came out.
Yeah, it was because Darth Revan came what? February.
February, yeah. And then
Malik
I
came
thought
out
Malik
or January, but it was like literally right after, end of January.
Yeah, like within a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, it was like, oh, by the way, here you go.
Yeah, that was when we were getting inundated by a whole bunch of tunes.
Yeah.
A plethora of tunes.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. The Sedge question: when's Mando start again?
I believe that there's no specific date yet, but I mean, we're assuming probably around like September, October, sometime end of the year.
They said the fall. Yeah, they said the fall.
It may be November.
I don't want to wait that long, but
no. I need to get some more soup drinking from the child. All right, last question I see here. Question from the Sedge: what year are Mission and Zalbar needed for the Malik event? At least 11, because you have to hit that power rating. I mean, I've helped people do it with 11, but they have the Zeta off, so the threshold is 17.5. But you can do it with year 11. It's a little more challenging, but once you figure out how to use them, it's.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw this one says April 12th was Malik's first event. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, I saw another question here. Hold on one second. There was.
No, that's from Grande. It's a stupid question. We'll just move on.
You talk? No, not that question. It's.
Oh, the set, yeah, that's just popped up.
Did anyone see on YouTube channel the playbook, the super fast and TM gains separatists with GG lead? It takes 25 turns for 5 of any Padme Jedi team. Is that best defense build for GG?
I mean, the separatist droids with Watt I've seen is pretty damn good because it's really hard to kill B2. You have to go in there with a powerhouse team to take that out. Because Watt gets the buffs on the droids, and then because they're separatists, I mean, they can go bananas.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the team that I recognize.
Okay. And the other one he asked was, is Malik or Gas better to go for as a mid-game player?
Malik.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Malik, definitely. Shy Bears, I hope Gas comes back soon, too. I mean, it's been a few months now. I mean, I'm thinking maybe end of March. You know, he definitely has to come back sometime. I mean, he came back.
It should be 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, the third time around, like they bring him back in 2 months, and then they make it wait 6 months after that. Yeah. But I mean that would make sense. But yeah, no, I think it'll be maybe next month or something like that. When will CG give out the next batch of requirements for Galactic Legend Rey and Kylo?
Soon, TM. That's all we can say because
Yeah, it should be any time.
we should have another character announcement here this week because it's going to be into March, and March when the event is. So we should see in the next 2-3 weeks the final requirements and everything laid out before they launch the duo, the dyad.
Grande is saying you're his sidekick.
No, no. Grande has. Well, we're not sure. We know that it's not brain material. I think it's some kind of mayonnaise substance that's in there.
It's a cream-like substance. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so when he reads or asks questions, you have to take it with an understanding that he's he's the idiot savant. At one point, you're like, God, Grande, that was the most prophetic thing I've ever heard. And the other time, you're like, Grande, you're retarded. Please leave. You know. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grande's right. He did say, see, prophetic. Should be Thursday, Wednesday this week. See, that's something intelligent that Grande will say. And then he'll say something else and you just want to delete him from the channel.
But yeah, I don't see any more questions. So I think...
we can wrap it up.
I think we can wrap it up. So, yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Great show. Great time. We'll be back next week with some more. Before we go, though, what's going on this week at RSG?
Same old. Apparently, we got a new skin. That shocked me with that little. So I'll be doing that. I am working on 2 new lore videos. One up because we did a fundraiser, some more for ACS, and raised a lot more money for a fight against cancer and children's pediatric cancer. So I'm working on those 2 lore videos. We'll have our lunch streams. We'll have our Wednesday night stream. We'll have the Jedi Academy on Saturday, and in between we'll have some fun races like with and some other during the week, and then. Should be back. We didn't do D&D Sunday because there are a lot of people missing today, but we'll be back next Sunday to do another episode Dungeons & Dragons Star Wars edition.
Cool. And what's going on with Boba's podcast there, Abby? Did you guys get another podcast out yet?
Ah, hell no.
Okay.
Trying to find people who want to, get suckered into being on, to be recorded is not such an easy thing. And like I say, people have been quitting the game. It's like I had another group that we were going to do it with, and then they apparently quit the game. So it's like, geez Louise.
Sometimes you just got to grab a microphone, Abby. You just got to hit the record button, and you just got to scream into it. Just got to scream into it. Just let it know. Let it know what you think. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do.
Exactly. So, but we're working on the Twitch channel, and I'll be doing some live streaming on there soon.
That's cool.
Which that'll be scary. Yeah, because I might even show my mug. So
okay.
I know. It's a scary thought. I might have to wear my Star Wars pajamas or something,
It'll be
Oh
cool.
my.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. We will all tune in closely to the Abby's first live stream and what pajamas that she wears. Yeah. But okay, so definitely make sure to check out the Boba's Alliance podcast and their videos on their channel. The link is in the description for this video. Also, make sure to check out the Reality Skewed Gamers and their live show on Wednesday nights. Ranger Infinity will be live this Wednesday, coming up with the latest and greatest. You'll be able to see. They have a great format, and they've been doing it for a long time. I'm sure most of you watch their show already, but if not, there are links in the description for the Reality Skewed Gamers and also Operation Metaverse with good old Maurice and TMoney. So make sure to support those channels as well. And I appreciate all you guys checking us out this week. It's a lot of fun. If I missed anybody's question, I apologize. I think I got everything, but if not, message me on Discord or type a comment in the video after the video posts, and I'll make sure to get to it next week. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. We'll be back next Sunday. And definitely make sure to check out all the live streams during the week. So go check out the Operation Metaverse on, I think, Thursday, Reality Skewed Gamers Wednesday, also the Jedi Academy on Saturday, and we'll be back here next Sunday with some more show. May the Force be with everyone, and we will see you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye.